Hello everyone. Color adjustment is a crucial step in post-production for film and video. Let's take a look together. Color adjustment can be broadly categorized into two main types: single clip adjustments and batch adjustments. During batch adjustments, we utilize nesting techniques. When we're adjusting colors in Premiere, due to software updates, we often don't need the effects on the left side. Instead, we access the color panel from its own panel. Click on the color label to review the panel we see now. By default, we can adjust colors through various commands. This is basic correction. White balance, controlling the color temperature to make it cooler or warmer. It's quite intuitive. Then color balance, adding a bit more green or red, which is very convenient for color correction. In the tone section, we can make the exposure brighter or darker, correcting whether the exposure is too extreme. Contrast used to make blacks darker and the highlights brighter, adjusted to a suitable value. Highlights can be separately controlled for the bright areas and shadows for the dark areas. Adjusting white and black, this method is very straightforward. Saturation determines the intensity of colors, making them more vivid or desaturated, even turning into black and white. If we need to add creativity, we simply click on the Creative label. Inside the Creative label, there are presets available. These are effects from the Fuji series. And here are some from the Kodak series. These are from former film and manufacturers, NGSL, and more presets. If you don't need presets, you can choose none and customize. With customization, we can influence the effect by adjusting the intensity. There's a fading film effect, which gives a slightly grayish appearance. Sharpening enhances detail clarity. And there's natural saturation and saturation. On this side, there are shadow color and highlight color adjustments. We can try. Dragging the cursor here, you can adjust the shadow color to make it cooler or warmer. It's quite noticeable, right? This is individual adjustment. For the shadow area, leaving it in the middle is the default state. Then for highlights, you can make them cooler or warmer. The more you drag it towards the edge, the more pronounced the color change. Towards the middle, it resets. Curves provide a way to adjust. Click to bring them up. Then we can control individual channels or overall. Upward curvature brightens the entire shot. Downward curvature darkens it. An S-curve adjusts contrast, similar to what we learned in Photoshop. The vignette effect adds darkness around the corners. Adjust the size of the central area. smoothness, feathering, which refers to a blurred effect. So this as a vignette effect. We can deselect the box or we can check it, so that everyone can clearly see the effect. Alright, this is the basic color adjustment. This is how we do color adjustment in a video segment. If we have a large amount of such material adjusting clip by clip or copying one after another, that would be quite inefficient. Is there a way to adjust them collectively? Certainly. We press the minus key on the keyboard to zoom out the timeline. Press Ctrl and A to select all our material. Right-click, then choose Nest. You can modify the name of this nested sequence, or use the default naming convention. Click Confirm. This entire video segment becomes a new sequence, and we can now apply a unified color adjustment to this sequence. For instance, let's select our video material. Click on the color panel and adjust it as a whole. Any color adjustments we make will be applied to the entire sequence. For example, basic correction, adjusting the color temperature to make it warmer, then adjust the exposure slightly. Contrast, and individually control highlights and shadows. Our standard for adjustment is to enrich the sense of depth. Individually control black and white, whether to add saturation. We can also open the curves, used to globally increase contrast and adjust the S-curve. This is the approach for batch adjustment, achieved through nesting. Alright, that's all for today. Please practice diligently.